Hey folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Young Hellboy, Issue 2, The Hidden Land by Dark Horse Comics. There is violence, killing, blood, magic, possibly a vampire, murder, undead creatures possibly. So, if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright. Here are the names of people. Knock yourselves out. Oops, wait. There we go. Everyone who worked on this. I still can't for the life of me understand how you're supposed to recognize the work of a letterer. I mean, not to be an asshole, I'm just genuinely asking, how are you... There we go. I don't know, how can you tell? Because it's not like they're using their own handwriting and writing down in the comic. It's printed letters. I suppose the only way to find out, really, if one does a really shit job. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Alright, I will link a card here if you want to know what happened in issue 1. Not to waste any time here. So you can go check that out. Otherwise, let's continue. Alright, so when we first start, we go back 2 years ago. We see Hellboy in the bureau, and he's reading this, I think, magazine about the adventures of... not Carmen. Scarlet Santiago. Scarlet Santiago, the Sky Devil, and we get a little bit about her history. Her dad was, not a gangster. Wait, what was he? What was her dad? Her dad had this, job. Okay, her dad, her dad was a pilot. He got mixed up with some bad guys, and that got him killed. But he did have Scarlet help him. He taught her how to fly. And she went to... not before that. After that got killed, she joined the circus. And she learned all sorts of flying tricks there. And all that, but then the people who killed her dad followed her there even, and so she decided finally to get back at them, get revenge, and she defeated them. And the manager, it was the manager of the circus. He used to be, I think he used to be a pilot or something like that. Basically, he recognized her because Scarlet put on a mask. So they wouldn't know it was her. After she got them down, he gave her a gun. He gave her a special gun, and he also gave her that belt. And she has that demon belt, and the nickname. Oh no, wait. Right. Sorry. Did he give her a gun? Yeah, I think he might have gave her a gun. Can't remember right now. Anyway, also gave her that belt, and he gave her the nickname the Sky Devil. So then, with how we continue, that was, what's up with me? So that was 2 years ago. He was telling about all these adventures from the magazine to this guy who, I guess, was babysitting him. And telling him it was nice, and yeah, it's amazing. It's so adorable. Like, everyone just, to them, Hellboy's a little kid there. The guy even sits like, this bored babysitter reading his newspaper, going, okay, now careful, don't run around so you don't hurt yourself. It was quite funny. But we go back to present day. Scarlet and Hellboy are heading towards where the apes, I'm going to call them apes this time, where the apes are living. So what happened was, we hear about that later. So they continue to go, and as they're walking they meet up with the other 3 apes. And Scarlet tells him these are her friends. They were trying to help him not go into the quicksand. And then also to the temple. That building they wanted to go to, it's apparently dangerous. Very dangerous. Anyway, as they go to the place, Scarlet before that, she tells him, "Don't worry, your dad's all right." Yeah, she already told him. I saved him from the lizards. Well, dinosaurs. This is one hell of an island. It's got a lot of things in it. As they're heading, they also go old Tarzan-like and swing on vines. As they're heading there, they suddenly see a T-Rex. I think it's supposed to be a T-Rex. It's one motherfucking big lizard, I'll tell you that much. They see a T-Rex. He grabs one of Scarlet's ape mates, and he eats one of them. He grabs him in his mouth and chomp. The poor ape is gone. The other two are obviously very upset, so is Scarlet. She's like, "I'm gonna take care of this." And then she starts taking off her hclothes and throwing them. And Hellboy's like, "Hey, why are you getting naked?" And then she turns into a giant ape. The same ape that saved them in issue 1. I mean, I guess you can kind of guess that, because both she and that ape have purple eyes. And it seems convenient that she knew where they were. Well, the professor, since like she was keeping track of them. She fights the dinosaur. Hellboy tries to assist her, but gets knocked by the dinosaur's tail. Anyway, Scarlet defeats the dinosaur. She kind of breaks his jaws, and then she gets a big rock and smash on the head, and he's dead. And she gets dressed. The other two apes are screaming at the dinosaur there, and then they all head back to these are the people. I just don't remember their name. I'll look it up later and tell you. But anyway, these are the ape. They're apes, but it seems to be like this tribe of apes, which is interesting. Were they always monkeys, or as if you see the homes they have, it's quite advanced. They don't just sit on the trees. They actually have little houses and everything, which is interesting. So it seems to be they're far smarter than your regular ape. Anyway, they finally get to this place where they are. Scarlet says her home away from home. The professor and Hellboy hug. They're happy to see each other. They're okay. Oh yeah, before that, Scarlet asks Hellboy not to tell about, that she turns into this giant ape. And Hellboy says okay. They go into Scarlet's little home, and that's where she tells them how she ended up on the island. She was flying on a mission to return some artifacts to their rightful owner, and like with Hellboy and the Professor, this fog appeared, and she couldn't fly in it very well, and she crashed on the island. And the ape people, they found her, like she says, saw something worth saving in her. So they brought her back to their, let's call it their little village. And then the way they saved her life is their shaman. He took this spirit. It has a name I have difficulty to pronounce. This protector spirit. He takes it from another ape that I think is dead. And the spirit moves to her body, saving her life. As it probably heals her and everything. And she says it was the most, it's the most weird feeling ever, but suddenly I also felt very alive. Right before that, Hellboy Sally spills the beans. But the professor already had suspicions that Scarlet was the big ape because of the eye color. Her eyes didn't used to be purple. They turned like that after her change. So since then, she's been there and protecting the ape people. I take it. Scarlet bandages the professor's wound, uses some ointment, and then Hellboy gets out of her little house and swings. He seems to very much like Scarlet, and the professor and Hellboy seem to also like that island. No, it is an interesting island to explore, though very dangerous. So the 8 people, they already told Scarlet long ago not to go to that temple they saw when they first arrived on the island. But that's the only sign of civilization there, and the professor wants to go there to try to find a way to get them back home. Now Scarlet doesn't really want them to go or anyone to go there because of how bad a place it is, but if it means for him and for Hellboy to find a way to get home, she's all for it. Of course she's not going to say no. Interesting. I guess Scarlet's not planning to try to return, which I guess it would be a bit difficult. Like how would she have to then give up the spirit of the ape protector? And if she does that mean she'll die? Will her wounds return after that happens? Or maybe it's something that she can't it's only after she dies will the spirit be out of her. That is interesting. So the professor promises that he'll be careful when he goes exploring, and at the first sign of danger he's going to run away. But she tells him, no, we're going to explore, and the first sign of danger, we're running away. So she's going to come with him. Then we Then we move on to the temple. We see blood going. We see blood smeared on the floor there. And then we see our man from the first comic, the crazy religious dude. He's lying there on this sarcophagus kind of thing, not an Egyptian one, but a tomb, so sort of a tomb, a coffin. I guess a stone coffin. And he's bleeding on it. And that's where we meet who's going to be our villain. So we have this queen who used to rule the kingdom there, She was, at least in her eyes, she was very much beloved and she was wonderful and everything. Obviously power hungry, probably narcissistic. Yes, she's praising herself, saying how wonderful a queen she was. But then she was betrayed because she was so blinded by the love to her people. These people, they kind of look ape-like. The ones that, they seem to be ape-like. But she and and her guards look human, which is very weird. So she ruled over ape people, but then how was she human? And where are her parents? And how did it all work? Right, I had to go look. Yeah, so she used to rule the ape people. I guess for what it seems, she was a terrible ruler. At least so it seems. I reckon she's not really the good guy in the story, but still. So they can't kill her. So what they do is they poison her, and they kill her guards. And then they discover they can't kill her, so they lock her up in this sarcophagus, in this stone coffin. And that's where she seems to have been for a very long time, until our crazy religious dude caused the Hellboy, the professor, and himself to crash on that island. And he came to her, giving her the blood she needed probably to rise. So she gets out of her tomb. Guy sees her, and she tells him her name's Veressa. You know what I couldn't help but think of? I kept thinking about Lestat, the vampire Lestat. And there's I don't remember what book it would be or a movie, but it's the Queen of the Damned. She kind of reminds me of her quite a bit. Yeah, Vespera. Queen Vespera. There we go. Queen Vespera. She reminds me of her because that queen, the Queen of the Damned, I think she also ruled, and then she and her king husband almost drained the whole world. And then they became stones, statues. And then I think it was Stat appeared then at some point, and thanks to him, she woke up. I don't remember the movie that well. Yeah, it kind of reminded me of that, even sort of the way she's dressed as well. Anyway, she gets up and she tells this poor bastard, "Let me reward you with a kiss." And she bites him and drinks his blood, and she starts to look less like a mummified zombie and slightly more alive, juicier, if you will. So I'm guessing she might be some sort of a vampire. I think. Because they couldn't kill her and she's still alive after all this time. And she needed blood. So I guess she's some type of vampire. And then maybe that was it. Maybe she would drink from the ape people. And maybe she would kill them as well because of it. I guess we'll find out in the next issue only. Yeah, so she wakes up, she bites the man, she drinks some blood, and then her guards that are all around her in this temple, they rise up again. I wonder why the apes left their bodies there and didn't burn them or something. Beats me. And she tells them, go and get me something living, because she needs more blood. And that's it. We stop with them going out. All of them and the religious lunatic guy. And that's it. That's how this one ends. And it's getting more complicated. So yes, looks like these ape people are far more intelligent than your regular ape. I do wonder what caused them to lock this queen up in that tomb. I mean, obviously, she seems to be unhinged. Not exactly the best queen. At least it seems that way. So I do wonder what, how it happened. How she even came to rule them. That's a bigger question. Because they're ape people, and she is in fact a vampire and human looking. Where did she come from? A lot of questions, but very cool. I like it where the story's going. I'm definitely looking forward to the next issue to see what happens. And to the end, I mean, how is this going to be concluded? I mean, obviously we know the Professor and Hellboy get out of the island. Because, we have all the Hellboy stories. He obviously lives. Unless this is an alternate universe. Nah. Yeah, so he obviously lives. So, yeah, interesting. I do wonder really what's going to be. Alright, let's check out some of the art. Oh, no, it is the same. I'm pretty certain this is the same artist. Alright, so here we have little Hellboy, and this is his babysitter. You see, there we go, that's the magazine he's reading. And that's the BPRD building. Looks like Hellboy was quite infatuated with Scarlet Santiago. The Sky Devil, yeah, there you see. There she is. There's the belt. Now I can show you the belt. So this is the belt that she has. This is her. And these are the apes. Over there. Oh, we got little Hellboy. Look at his babysitter like, alright, sit down. Don't hurt yourself. Look at that. That's quite cool. She has a gun. She has a sword. That's one battle-ready lady. And she's not wearing leopard. I'm so happy about that. Finally, a jungle girl without leopard. You don't see that often. Well, that is about all for this issue. I'm really enjoying this story. If this comes out in the trade paperback, I'll definitely buy this. It's a little easier than to keep the issues. Nah, but paper's pretty good. Paper's pretty good. I think they used for this one the old Dark Horse Comics logo, because it's different. It's not like their modern one. I mean, unless they decide to change it, which I don't think. Alright, anyway, folks, that is it. Let me know what you thought of this issue. Are you reading Young Hellboy? What did you think about it? And that is it. Now remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!